Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Triple Play Podcast, where we're getting jacked up out here about some coaching, about
hmm
some uh, doing what's right for the next generation and giving back. And I give back on the running side. Nick's gonna start giving back on the wrestling side. So
Yeah.
I know he's happy about it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna have to come down there and see what the coach has got going on.
As long as you pay to get in and I get the money
Oh
for it.
God, what are we doing?
Hey, I'm trying to build a program
Hey, do
here.
Wilkes County school employees get into middle school events?
I don't know.
I bet they do. Oh
I
God,
hope not.
better
I
be
hope you
frank.
have to pay just for me.
I'm gonna be dangling that badge.
All right. Let's get into some NLDS talk,
I
or some
say,
some league or league division series talk, just league
yeah,
wide.
get this. Let's just get it out of the way, Nick.
Yeah.
Just get it
All
out of the
right.
way. Braves, Phillies.
They whooped us, man. They whooped us. They really
They
did.
did, and I'm telling you what, coming out hot against the Padres. I know Padres are winning
hmm
tonight, but listen, the bats are hot.
Yeah, and it's funny because the Phillies and Padres were both right at 500. One was 2 games above 500, one was 2 games below 500 in September. They were fighting to give up their playoff spots, and now they're playing to see who goes to the World Series for the NL
Hmm.
side. Like they just got
Yep.
hot at the right time, man. And
Yeah.
the Mets, Braves, and Dodgers all got cold at the wrong time.
Exactly. And we talked about that toward the end of the Braves season. We were like, dang, the Braves are kind of cold right now. Then they kind of, they heated up a little bit in the Mets series, did what
Mm-hmm.
they needed to do.
That's and
And
that's
then,
that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Like
yeah.
I really think that was their goal. Beat the Mets, put them away, keep the division streak alive. We're dead now because they played
Yep.
720 baseball for the last 4 months of the
Hmm.
season. Like they were grinding every game out,
Yeah.
man.
Then you get a couple days off, and then you come
Mhm.
back, and you're like, wow, guys, I'm pretty tired. I think I might go
And
home now, like Forrest Gump.
yeah, Padres final Padres win 8-5 in game two, tied up 1-1. They were down 4-0 at one point. Big comeback win.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about Phillies, though, we're talking about
Bryce Harper.
well, I mean, we're always talking about Bryce Harper. He's always been consistent for them. But I tell you who else we're talking about. We're talking about Brandon Marsh. In the nine hole. Not saying that he's the most consistent hitter in the world.
hmm
Dude has come up in some very clutch
hmm
situations. I'm not ready to say, hey, Brandon Marsh is a clutch hitter.
Right.
I'm just saying that
But
right
he
now in
he
this
has
playoff
had some big
run,
hits in this
yeah.
playoff run for sure.
I mean, think about some guys that the Braves got at the deadline last year that was doing the same thing.
Right.
You know,
Eddie Soler and Peterson all had a series where they just went
yep.
ham and turkey.
Dude gets in the playoffs and he's like, this is what the playoffs are like? You
Yeah.
telling me when I hit a home run, they cheer louder? They cheer-
Jesus.
So, but first game 7-6. Game two, Braves snap back 3-0.
Yep.
Um, a game,
Then we
a well pitched game is what
yeah,
you could say
and
out of Kyle
and
Wright.
and I told you this, and I think I've said it before on a podcast. Kyle Wright's the best. Okay, maybe other than Charlie Morton, I'm going to attribute him to getting hit on the elbow with a comeback or the pitching
Yeah,
elbow, anyways. But Kyle Wright has, other than Ian Anderson, Kyle Wright has been the most consistent postseason pitcher we've had.
yeah, oh yeah, for
He
sure.
is other than the just god awful start in Game 3 of the NLCS in 2020. Every other time he's gotten the ball in the postseason, he has shined bright like a diamond.
Yep. I think, and also when I think about it, I think about the Phillies bullpen, holding
They
up pretty
stepped up. They
well.
stepped up.
Yeah,
They
Jose
did.
Alvarado, Sir Anthony
hmm
Dominguez, like guys like that. And I was actually listening to one of the Braves games. It was actually the game that got knocked out. But that's what one of the broadcasters said. When's the last time we got to say, hey, this Phillies bullpen? Like he
Right.
said, when's the last time we got to say that?
I can't remember the last time we played in a series against Philly and didn't rock their bullpen because their bullpen's normally doo doo. But I mean, the Phillies outplayed the Braves in every aspect of the game in this series. I mean, you got
Yeah.
to tip your cap. That's all you can do.
Yep. Game three of that series went 9-1 to the Braves, and that's just that's tough to come back from in any situation. You try to put a guy on the mound that has been an absolute animal all year, and I feel like the Braves felt like they were kind of backed against the wall, like, hey, we're 1-1. If we do make it out of this series, Strider gets the extra air west. If he goes today, he couldn't he couldn't go past that second inning. He was getting in that third inning and he was gassed.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure if the Braves are going far without him anyway.
Right. And
It
I
hurt.
want to get something off my chest here. I know when in the awards video I said that I think Brian Snitker should win Manager of the Year, and I do. I mean, I think he should for the regular season, but in games 3 and 4, starters' velocities dropped between 3 and 6 miles an hour, and he left them in there to burn us with a 3-run homer back-to-back games.
Yeah.
And that is something. I mean, and when you go down like that early again in Philadelphia, you're not coming back. You can't. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, I don't care who you are. It's not happening. And Brian Snicker put us in those situations.
Yeah.
And
Now,
I just it
you'll have
frustrates.
to tell me. Was the Strider situation a 2-out situation? Because I know
No,
Morton's situation.
Strider got one out, and then it was like in a matter of I don't know, five, maybe 5 or 6 batters. It was 5-6 to nothing, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Now I know the Morton situation, you're 2 outs. You've already got Colin McHugh warming up. He's probably thinking like, okay, Charlie told me he's got me out there. Like I know it's a little off, but like he's right here. I'm getting this last out. And, next inning Colin McHugh's gonna take over, and then lo and behold, Brandon Marsh, 9 batter, catches a curveball that
mhm.
probably,
And it
if
didn't spin. And watching it, it was just
no,
a
no.
curveball that didn't curve.
The pitch that he needed was the pitch that he got,
Mhm.
so and that's what they talked about with a couple situations, the last 2 games, Bryson Stott's home run and Brandon Marsh's home run, they got the pitch that they could hit out in the perfect moment.
Right.
So I just, some little stuff that, was kind of unlucky for the Braves too. Strider pitches a great year, but he's pitched more innings than he ever has in his career. So,
And that was
you
his
know,
first start back off of an injury.
yeah, next season, you never know.
No, I'm not worried about the Braves going forward.
No,
I
their
mean, they're going to
division,
be successful.
they are a team that is set up for a lot of success
Mhm.
over 162.
And the thing, like the Phillies, they're not that far off of that. Just because they have Wheeler and Harper locked up somewhat long term. Harper very long term, but
Yeah. No, the Phillies and the Padres are 2 teams that could get hot at any moment and drop a 10 spot on your
hmm
dome. Like, and against your good pitchers.
right. And they like
So,
today against Aaron Nola, they dropped a
yep,
5 spot in the
yep.
in some and like and Aaron Nola is an ace, a
It's like
legitimate ace.
Zach Wheeler baffled them, but they got to Aaron Nola,
Right.
so
And like we got to Wheeler and got baffled by Nola.
yep.
And it's just geez.
But it'll be the bats that carry the
Mhm.
Phillies from here.
Yeah.
They're starting pitching. You worry about it, but the bullpen hasn't looked too bad. But they will have to hit
The
to win it.
the way I see it for the NLCS outlook right now, games 5 and 6 will be Wheeler and Nola. If it can get if it can be 2-2 going into game 5, you're feeling good.
Hmm.
You're thinking, gosh, I've got my 1, 2, and 3 starters lined up. 2 of them being 2 of the better pitchers in baseball. You just feel good about your chances there, but you can't go back to Philadelphia and lose 2. And I really don't see that happening, to be honest with you, or
Yeah.
lose 3.
Do you want to hit the other NL series while we're at it here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Game one, Dodgers. Dodgers had them 5-3 there. Then the Padres came storming back 5-3. Uh, Game three was Padres 2-1, and that one stung.
Mm-hmm.
Like just and then the Padres 5-3 because they're at home,
Mm-hmm.
and that stadium hadn't had a true Padres home playoff game,
Mm-hmm.
and I think can't remember how long they said it was. It was a while.
Yeah.
But they had that little COVID year. They
Yeah.
played there, and I actually thought it was a pretty good ballpark to play
Mm-hmm.
at. Just to be honest, like it's nice. I like it, but the pitchers that needed to do good for the Padres did,
Mm-hmm.
and the hitters that needed to get hot at certain times also did.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those timely things, just like against the Braves with the Phillies. The guys that needed to get the job done came around in the right moments to get it done.
Yeah.
I I don't know. I don't know about how often I'd probably say, "Oh yeah, well I'll take the Padres over the Dodgers." I don't think I'm just rolling that statement out anytime.
It's not a statement you would roll out because the Dodgers were 14-5 against them, won every single series against them in the regular season.
Yep.
It's one of those things, man. Dodgers were cold, Padres were hot.
Exactly. And how many times did Profar or Cronenworth come up with big hits in
Mm-hmm.
this series? Guys that you're not necessarily now the Cron zone's real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a real place where you can get lost out there. Okay, the Dodgers found it. All
Mm-hmm.
right, but and did you see that insane play that he had on that Harper shot back up the middle in game one?
Mm-mm.
In game one, it's already like one and well, no, it was early in the ball game. Saved a run like a drill. It had to be at least 105 to 110 off the bat, back up the middle. It's a one hop shot in the
Mm.
edge of the outfield. He dives, makes the play, throws him out at first base to save an early run. Like the guy is he's in a zone right now, and it's the Crone zone.
Zone.
But Machado's doing enough to say, hey, I'm the boss here.
Mm-hmm.
I get the job done. Profar, like I said, Profar is giving you what enough
Mm-hmm.
for who he is. Darvish is doing enough for them. I know they lost game one, but listen, Darvish had a good start. I mean, against a hot Phillies lineup that's coming off of a big win against
Right.
the
If
Braves.
you only give up 2 runs in a game and you're the Padres, you're expecting to win.
Yep, and I will give the late innings to the Padres always because they have a solid Josh Hader right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
If
Josh Hader's back on his stuff, bro. He hasn't given up a run in his last 14 appearances.
exactly, and we want to see good players play good in the postseason.
I'm getting a Josh Hader Padres jersey if they win the World Series, bro. I'm doing it. I love
Sheesh,
Josh Hader.
Machado,
Josh Hader is the best reliever that we will ever freaking see, other than Mariano Rivera.
and
Other than Mo, Josh Hader's the best reliever we'll ever see.
so many of these guys on the Padres I used to couldn't stand. Like I was like, Josh Hader with the hair, and then you've got Machado with the attitude,
He's
and
matured a lot though, and
not
he's
a
still an
big fan of.
attitude.
I didn't like the Soto shuffle. And like
Oh,
now,
well.
now against the Phillies, I'm like, yeah, you shuffle him, baby. You get up there. Like I mean, it is the Phillies, and I want.
Yeah.
But listen, if they went out and did what they needed to do at the trade deadline to make a run, they deserve their run.
Did
Honestly,
I just hear you almost squeak out that you're pulling for them to win?
the Padres.
The Phillies.
Oh no, the Padres. Sorry, I'm pulling for the Padres on this one.
I was about to say, because we got it
No,
in this podcast right here now.
no.
Cheater.
I'm definitely pulling for the Padres here. I think, like I said, they've done what they needed to do at the deadline to be competitive down the stretch here with big time bats that could deliver in big time situations. I think they deserve it.
Right.
And kudos, and like, who else wants to see Blake Snell just absolutely go through the postseason and be a dominant force?
Right.
Like against the Dodgers, let me see right here. I had it pulled up and I just took it off. Dodgers 5 1/3, 1 earned. I guess the Dodgers, and then who pitched tonight?
Who pitched tonight for who?
Who pitched tonight for the Padres?
Oh, Snell. He got roughed around a little bit.
Did he get roughed around
Yeah,
today?
it was.
Snell, five
Yeah,
and four.
that ain't
Not as
good.
bad as Aaron Nola did though. Okay, but anyway, should be a good series in the
Mm-hmm.
championship series.
Yeah.
Congrats to the Padres. The Phillies slayed their demon kind of in the Braves, and the Padres slayed theirs in the
Yeah.
Dodgers. So
It's true.
kudos to them. Hungry teams will win close ball games.
Yeah.
Um, so you want to go to the closest 3-0 that we've ever seen in the playoffs?
Yeah, and I want to say one thing just to add to that. This series that went three games to none, Astros, was probably about a total of 10 pitches from being 3-0 Mariners.
Yep, exactly.
And that's why I want to tell people, like, look, yeah, they got swept, but that was a very pretty sweep, if there is such a thing.
I say
Like,
Mariners fans feel better than Braves fans do.
oh, I
Honestly.
would feel way better about how the Mariners
Yeah,
did. But and
absolutely.
it's the thing that the Mariners, they have the same beast like the Padres have in the like with the Astros.
Yep.
And they thought like they were this close to slaying that beast.
Absolutely. And I
And
think that that divisional race next year.
I've seen, and the Astros still have to pay Verlander, get him back.
Yep.
And I've seen Dipoto, the Mariners GM. I've seen reports that he said, "Look, we're trying to get a good shortstop." Like, so I'm thinking Correa, Turner, Swanson, somebody's going
They
there.
get Correa
They could,
against the Demon? Like, oh my
yeah, get
goodness.
Correa. Why
Take him
not?
to the house that he was part of building and just take him there and let him shine. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that Correa was an absolute stud this year, but he had his
Correa
moments.
was great this year. I
Yeah,
mean,
he had, especially the second half. I believe the
mhm.
second half he was really, really hot, right?
Yeah, I just think the only thing with him is injury concerns.
Yeah.
Like if the Braves signed him, I would probably be extremely happy because while I would hate losing Dansby, he is an upgrade from Dansby.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, I'm like, God, we don't really do this, guys. We don't really sign these injury prone guys to long term
Yep,
deals. I
I
don't
would
like
agree.
that.
But anyway, we were talking about how close it was. Astros 8-7 off of Yordan Alvarez's bat. Astros 4-2 off of Yordan Alvarez's bat. And
And
then
then
Astros 1-0 in 18 off of Jeremy Pena's bat.
mm,
Like to go to 18 in game 3, that just shows you what the Mariners have in store for next year.
I really think if they can ship off Winker, like I just don't think he's just not a fit for that
I
that
hate
offensive
that.
scheme that they
I
have
hate
there.
that. He
I do
needs to
too.
go. Send him to Colorado.
Oh,
I'm drafting him in fantasy next year.
same. No,
Do
they
it.
ain't. That's
Do
my first
it.
overall pick.
No, I'm picking CJ Cron, Jesse Winker first thing. They're going to start out hot.
I will try and take CJ Cron again if I can.
Absolutely. But no, yeah, you're absolutely correct. He just, you know, Suarez worked out. Santana, he was a little bit in out.
Santana
Um,
had some big moments for him for sure, though.
I do they keep Adam Frazier? I do think down
I
the
think he's
stretch.
signed on a longer term deal. Like
Okay,
I think
he
he's
was pretty solid down the stretch as far as like he's a great glove,
yeah,
and he's not gonna
he's
he's
not a power guy, and you knew that when you signed him,
yeah,
anyways.
and
So
he's not gonna go on this. I don't think he's a horrendous slump kind of guy either, because he is a contact hitter.
mhm.
You know, obviously you hope Kelnick comes up and gives you something next year to go alongside of Rodriguez in center field. You want Kelnick to be the guy in left or whatever it needs to be. And Cal Raleigh, keep the man hot. Go ahead and get him
And
locked up. Lock him up.
I saw he caught the last month of the season and the postseason with a torn ligament in his thumb,
Oh boy.
dude. And I've caught with jammed thumbs quite a bit.
Dude, I'm telling you, that ball hits the bottom of the mitt.
That's the
Feels
most
like
painful thing you'll ever do. And he
it
was
feels like
doing
it.
it. He was catching he was catching Andres Munoz, who throws 103
Yeah,
with a torn ligament in his thumb.
I was
This man
fixing.
got that dog in him, bro.
I was fixing to say my brother was a freshman in high school, stayed after to catch bullpens for varsity pitchers. They had a varsity pitcher that threw, high 80s, low 90s, and just one of the last pitches just barely, glances off the bottom of the glove, and it's a stinger. He shakes it off, finishes the set, comes home, it's like purple. Take him to the emergency room, broken thumb. I mean that it is just no joke getting
Yeah.
hit on the bottom of
Mm-hmm.
the bottom of the mitt like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the dude was swinging the twig out there,
Mm-hmm.
Nick, as Kevin God would say, swinging the
God.
twig. God, I like saying it though,
Why you say God? Kevin God. It would be like
because he's the
Goad.
god of MLB The Show YouTube
That's true.
and anything else he wants to post.
One thing I want to address, I know Shelby never watches our videos. The difference between then and then. How do you not know it? You make like hundreds of thousands of dollars off of YouTube every year. You're one of the best MLB The Show creators, and you don't know the difference between then and then.
I
Fix
got a
your stuff,
feeling.
bro.
I got a feeling there's some Phillies animosity there.
Oh no, that has absolutely nothing to do with him being a Phillies fan. Like I've tolerated that the entire time I've watched his content, man. And Shelby, we're not knocking you or anything, dude. Like it's just that kills me. Like every time I see it on Twitter, dude, it just kills me. All right, but anyways, let's jump into Yankees Guardians.
Yankees, Guardians, and Nick, I thought
I thought the
that
Guardians had them.
I thought game 4 the Guardians were going to beat them. Josh Naylor, bomb city, rocking a baby to sleep, and Garrett Cole. And I thought right there, we was talking while it happening and everything, and you said there's no way I'm drafting Garrett Cole in fantasy next year after that.
Dude, I will never have someone on one of my fantasy teams that allows that to happen to him. Dude,
I'm
dude,
hitting the next guy, and
dude
I'm
was
hitting
literally
Naylor when he
walking
comes
around
back
the
up.
bases doing this, bro. Like
Yeah,
that's the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen. Like you
and
can't let that happen to you.
I know they lost the series, but the fact that the Guardians put the Yankees in a game 5 situation with some of the young talent that they have, hats off to them. You know,
They had the 2-1 lead. The Yankees had to come back and
yep,
fight. And now, did they get their 1 and 2 starters in game 4 and 5? Yeah.
yeah.
And did Terry Francona pull an oopsie, throwing Aaron Savali instead of Shane Bieber to match Nestor Cortez? Yeah.
You just knew Aaron
How could you
Savali
not?
was not the play.
Game 5 winner, go home. How are you not starting your Triple Crown pitcher, your Cy Young winner? How are you not
You
pitching him in
know,
game 5 on 4
if
days rest? That's
if
that's fine.
if he's still tired and he only gives you 3 innings, hey, you're in the ball game now. They probably have zeros on the board for 3 innings. You're here. Hey, we're in the game. Let's get the bullpen out here. You know, I mean, I don't understand. Like, give it to the man himself. Don't leave it up to something like that. That Savali was never the move, and
It's one of those.
I hate it.
It's one of those things. Like, have you ever seen the theory of why managers are so over aggressive in the postseason with their closers?
No, no.
So there's a theory that you have to have a perfect timing for your closer when you put them in. And
Yep.
we've seen it in the postseason. We've seen a lot of teams go down, the Braves included, with their closer in the bullpen, standing there waiting to be brought in.
Yeah.
Lose their season's done with their closer in the pen.
Yep.
You know, and I think this is one of those things. I thought that Aaron Boone would learn from trying to change up the closer role. And in was it game 3 or game 4 that he put in Schmidt that blew it
Three.
instead
Three.
game 3, and
Completely blew the game.
that put
Yeah.
them
No. Well,
down 2-1.
and there were already runners on base that could tie the game and all that good stuff. But the run that won the game was Schmidt's run, and Schmidt
Mm-hmm.
could have held the rest of those runs
Mm-hmm.
off as well. So, you could say what you want about timely hitting. You got to have some timely pitching to win in the postseason.
Oh yeah, pitching wins in the postseason.
Can I take you back? Let me take you back just for a moment. Tyler Matzik, Game 6, Dodgers. Okay, talk about a sack.
Yeah, dude was dragging the
May
ground on
have
his
had
way
surgery on his
back.
arm, but his
Hey,
sack is very
he's
much
coming back
intact.
better than ever.
Yeah,
He's coming back better than ever.
he's gonna look good. Um, but a couple players I'm looking forward to. Guardians, Tristan McKenzie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking forward to everything that he's got going for him in the
Hey,
future.
let's do a bet now. Which one of us takes him in fantasy next year? Because I want him. I want him bad.
Tristan McKenzie.
He's one of my preseason, like, gotta go after if you can. Especially if it's at a good,
Yeah, we've
good,
talked
good steal there.
we've talked about him a lot. Stephen Kwan, like,
Nah, it's not a
beautiful.
great fantasy option.
I mean, not a great
Good
fantasy
player.
option, no. But I'm telling you what, everybody else is talking about their rookies. The Guardians got to feel great about what they're getting out of Stephen Kwan.
Right.
Of course, you've got your staples, Ahmed Rosario and Jose Ramirez, and
I think Andres Jimenez is
Andres
a staple
Jimenez,
now.
and I'd say Josh Naylor has worked himself into a situation where he should probably be an everyday bat.
He's their 4-hole hitter, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, no,
He's a
I've seen several games where he wasn't, and I'm not sure.
And they sit him out
injuries.
against lefties some because he is
Yeah,
bad against lefties, but
yeah,
he against righties at least he's their 4-hole hitter. He is
yeah.
behind J Ram.
They obviously they need a couple pieces, but
Yeah.
they're not far away.
No.
And they can feel good about their closer situation is great, and have a team with a great closer. You don't have to worry about that for the next however long you want to keep him.
Right. And look, if the Guardians look at it this way, they won their division. the Twins have already gotten worse before the off season's begun.
Yep.
Losing Carlos Correa, he
Yep.
ain't coming back
No.
because you don't
Big
turn down
hole.
42 million to try and come back to the same team. Ain't
No.
happening.
No.
But and you know the White Sox you feel better than just because you don't know what they're going to have at manager. You don't know how that team's going to sync with them. Injuries are always an issue in Chicago for some reason. But
Yeah,
like
you're absolutely
both
correct.
sides in a Cubs uniform or a White Sox uniform, that's just where you go to get hurt.
Yeah.
But
So no, yeah, I mean you got to take the Guardians going into next year as the division winner
that's what I
and
think.
come back stronger with a couple more pieces and you never know. But I know the Guardians aren't usually ever a buyer,
Right.
but you don't have to be a big gun buyer, just buy a couple, veterans that have showed promise or
Go
something to fill up
after
some holes.
I guarantee you, if Brandon Nimmo doesn't like almost immediately sign with the Mets, I get he screams Guardians player to me. That he
Yeah,
is their style of ball. He really is.
absolutely. You
Like
are
that,
so
like
you're correct.
dude, that like I feel like that was like 1,000 IQ like thought right there. Like he is perfect for how the Guardians like to play baseball. Like I really see them taking a shot at him.
Absolutely. And then, I the Yankees, you made it to the ALCS. And
What's the
did it
score
take
to that
five
game?
games? Did it take 5 games? Sure.
But you
But
got there.
you're there. Exactly. Now take care of some business. You gotta take care of some business. It's 1-1 in the third.
Okay.
Um
Harrison Bader will never have to buy a meal in New York for the rest of his life.
yeah, and
Dude has
what's his
4
contract?
homers
What's
already.
his contract situation?
He's on his rookie contract still, so he's probably RB eligible next year.
Mhm. But no, and I was going to mention that that's probably a reason why they wouldn't ever keep Benintendi going into next year,
Right,
just because Bader has done what he's done right off of injury,
right.
So
And Bader is the best defensive center fielder in the well second in the AL now behind Buxton, but Buxton doesn't play, so
yeah, well, you got a point there. But I, you're not sad. A lot of these teams, the Mets when they got knocked out, they're sad.
Mhm.
The Braves,
I
they're
was
sad.
sad.
The
Dodgers fans
Dodgers,
sad.
Dodgers are sad. But then if you're the Guardians, you're fine. The Mariners,
You you
got to be fine.
played you played a team with almost 3 times your payroll to 5 games in the playoffs with way less star power, playing a completely different style of baseball than they play. And I mean, you almost won.
Yeah.
Like you almost made it to the ALCS. Like you cannot feel bad if you're the Guardians.
No, and they, when they locked up some of their better players at the beginning of the year, we thought that it was crazy. We were like, dude, like, why are these players signing back? Like,
Right.
there's no reason for them to sign back. But hey, guys in the clubhouse know more than we do.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And and Jose Ramirez was talking about his contract, and everyone thought like, wow, that's ridiculous. He signed for that little money, even though it was life changing money.
Yeah.
He said, 100 million, 150 million doesn't matter. I'd rather have 100 million in Cleveland than 200 million somewhere else. I'd rather be
Mhm.
here. And that makes me wonder if Frankie Lindor didn't feel that way about Cleveland. That's why they
Yeah.
just kind of shipped him off instead of paying him.
Yeah.
Or it could have just been that he was asking for $32.5 million a year and
Yeah.
just
There's
that.
always going to be some guys who want to get the top dollar, and some guys who are like, I'll take that money and stay
Hmm.
here with these guys.
Yeah,
Some people appreciate that dollar more than they do, the more money. They appreciate being a part of a winning program, winning culture. I think a lot of guys are scared to go to another team and another culture and just not know what could be in front of them.
right. I
So
completely agree.
predictions, Nick.
All right. I'm going. I'm going Phillies in 6 and Astros in 5.
Padres and 7, Yanks and 6.
Yanks in 6.
Yeah, Yanks and 6, baby.
Yanks in 6 only starting Cole and Nestor once.
They're awake now, Nick. They have been awakened by the Guardians.
I don't know.
they
It'll be a good series.
yep.
Bad blood between them.
Don't let Stanton get hot. Don't.
Playoff Stanton is just he's like the deepest bag ever, bro. Like
All right.
all
Well,
right. Gotta wrap it up. All right. All right, everybody. There's gonna be a video under Colby and an option to subscribe under me. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and like and leave a comment. And let us know what if your team won. Let us know. If your team lost, like ours did, unfortunately, let us know. Let us know who you think's gonna win in the championship series and who's going to the World Series. Colby, you got anything else?
Real quick, shout out to my freshman girls powder puff football team. We taking the sophomores down tomorrow. Listen, I've talked so much smack. We've got the fastest 2 running backs in the school. Like it's going down tomorrow. West Steel Stadium.
West Steel. Oh God. All right.
All right, I'm done.
Thank y'all.